We did get kind of a strange vibe when the giraffe statue came into the house. There was something definitely different. Is this really happening? Is someone playing a trick on us? What is this? My ghost story began in San Gabriel Valley, California, after my dad brought home a porcelain giraffe statue. Since then, things really have never been the same.
My uncle had brought in a giraffe statue figurine. The woman had said that it had come all the way from Africa.
It's a very strange-looking porcelain statue, probably about 2 feet tall, weighs 20 to 25 pounds, so it is kind of heavy.
I don't know if I would say that the giraffe statue is cursed, but I definitely do think that it has some form of unsettling history to it, because it does seem to hold a vast amount of energy, and anytime when it was around things, things became more active.
We started noticing a lot more noises in the house. We would say, "Is somebody there? Can you make this noise?" And we would pound on the wall, and then we would hear the same sound come back on the ceiling.
As those occurrences became more common, we thought, you know, maybe we should see if we can kind of catch some of this footage to see if we can show it to other people.
Every single night, we would set up a camera, we would leave it in the same location, and just go to sleep.
We would review the film in the morning.
My cousin Cody and I are sitting there watching it. All of a sudden, we see this object start to move out of behind this TV stand.
We realized that we had caught that giraffe statue, the figurine, moving across the living room and into camera view. And then it started to creep out of the corner, and you just kind of see it slide out. And it almost looks as if the face is facing towards the camera. And then it slides a little further, and it starts rotating kind of. And then at one point, it even dipped and looked like it was going to fall. And then it caught itself and bounced itself and brought it back up.
Both of us were in shock, like, what is this? I mean, for something to move, an object weighing, 25 to 30 pounds, there's just so much that would have had to gone into actually pushing that giraffe.
We wanted to try and see if maybe we could recreate it, to see if maybe we could explain it off with some reason. But we couldn't. Every attempt we made, we failed. There was just no way to move it the way it had moved that night.
We just cannot figure out how that happened. Well, one of the nights that we were filming, Cody was actually sleeping in the living room, and a cat walked into the house.
I'm laying asleep, and I'm woken up by an animal. The cat is, responding to something, and he comes shooting across the house. And so I kind of get up going, like, hey, what's going on here? Why is this cat acting like this?
He gets up to go outside to scare away this cat, and as he walks by the camera and leaves outside, a transparent gray arm comes around and almost swoops at him and almost seems to want to, touch him or grab him.
I wasn't really aware of the fact that the ghost arm had reached out to me until after we reviewed the footage the next day. It was kind of just like, oh, what the heck? Where did that come from? And why was it reacting and responding to me like that?
Who knows if it had anything to do with the giraffe statue. And that energy could have come with the giraffe, could have been connected to it. It could be energy, it could be a spirit.
It was a sense of shock, and I was really unnerved.
One time, we were filming in the living room, and we started to hear noises in the room that my dad sleeps in. And when his mother was alive, that was her room.
As you got closer to the doorway leading into that room, you felt almost like you were getting squeezed, like just the walls were closing on you, almost like a tunneling sensation. And I was trying to listen a little closer against the door.
Just as he puts his hands on the door, we heard a very light, almost inaudible voice.
A female voice saying something along the lines of, come on in. And possibly we were thinking it might be saying, Nicholas's name, like, Nicholas, come in.
It's weird.
Ever since Chris says the Nicholas, I hear it now. That's all I hear now.
Yeah, and it's loud too. Nicholas, come in.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah, I hear it too. It's weird. kind of scary knowing that that kind of energy is around you all the time, but it's also very fascinating.
There was one instance when me and Nick were filming in his room.
I have a mirror set up in the corner of the room, and Cody was facing the mirror and I was facing Cody, and we were just kind of going through our regular, is someone here, would someone like to talk to us?
And in the mirror, in the reflection, I started to notice an image of a person becoming more and more apparent, more and more clear.
And he said, he looked over me and said, I just saw something in the mirror. And I'm like, okay, was it me? Was it, is there some kind of shadow? And he's like, no, I saw an older man in the mirror. Somebody with light skin, dark hair, older features, a little bit weathered features in the face.
The reflection image was just so vivid. It was like I'm talking to a person right across from me, not like I'm looking at a wobbly or blurry image. It was very, very clear, very, very definite. It was startling to me because there's no way this person should be here, but there I am looking at them.
Maybe a couple days or later, we had some pictures lying around, and he looked at one of the pictures and he said, this is the guy that I saw. And I told him, that's my grandpa. That's my dad's dad. And my grandpa did live in that house, and I'm sure, his energy could have been there.
We've tried different ways to explain how this happened, and there's just all the occurrences centered around the time the giraffe was in the house. We found it one day, and it was broken apart in a couple pieces. Inexplicably, we couldn't explain how it was just one of those things where, one day it was fine, the next it wasn't. And then after that, things kind of settled down and returned to their normal routine, and we haven't really caught much since.
When it comes to investigating, be careful what you wish for. I wouldn't tell anybody to go out there and say, bring it on, or let's see what you got, because those kind of things can start problems that you aren't really ready for.